Investing is too risky. Welcome to day 22 in our 30-day Unlock Money Magic Adventure specifically made for women. We're doing 3 days on investing. Yesterday, we looked at our identity as investor. Today, we're going to look at the biggest belief around investing. And then tomorrow, we're going to look at habits. So as a woman, think back, were you told you need to save money? Probably. Somewhere along the lines, you probably heard, be a saver. Save 10%, you know. Were you taught to invest? Maybe, maybe not. Most women haven't. That's a problem because when we save, which is great that we save, we do need to save. But if we only save and we don't invest, our money doesn't work for us. This is taped in 2026. The average interest rate on a savings account is less than 1%. If you look at our inflation rate, it's like 4+%. So we're losing money by leaving our money in savings. Now, don't get me wrong, we always need money for our emergency fund in an easily accessible place, ideally in a high yield savings account, but not everything we have ever saved. We need to invest to grow our wealth. Quick numbers, and you can play with this yourself with a compound calculator online. If you put $100 into an account every month for 20 years, if you put it into a savings account and you were to get 1%, which we don't even get 1% right now, you have like 26,500 something like that, around 26,500-ish dollars. So you put in 24, you get out 26 after 20 years. If you were to put the same $100 every month into an investment, and if we even just look at 6% interest rate compounding, we have like 44,000 and change after 20 years. That's almost double of what we put in. That's the power of compound interest. It looks really boring in the first few years, but at some point it picks up and it makes a huge difference. So the biggest belief most of us have is that investing is too risky. You've heard all kinds of stories about it. Plenty of people have lost all their money, and so we stay frozen. But the truth is, while we think our money is safe in savings, it really isn't. Over the years and decades, it is guaranteed to lose just because of inflation. When we learn to invest, even the very, very basics, then we have a really, really good chance of growing our money, especially over longer periods of time. So why don't you feel into that in your body, that whole belief it's too risky to invest? And actually what's on the heels on that is mostly because I don't know what I'm doing. It's too confusing. It's too overwhelming. So we are afraid to invest. It feels too risky to invest because we feel like we don't know what we're doing. So if you feel comfortable to do so, close your eyes and feel into that belief. Investing is too risky, or whatever your version of that is. Where do you feel that in your body? And how strong is it on a scale from 0 to 10? How true does that feel? Investing is too risky. And maybe it's investing is too risky for me because I don't know what I'm doing. Where do you feel that in your body? And how would you rate it on a scale from 0 to 10? And in the moment we start tapping, we always start with a negative or the truth of how we feel to release all those limiting beliefs out of our bodies. And then we change it into the positive. So deep breath in and out. And then tap on the side of the hand, karate chop. Even though investing is definitely too risky, and I'm convinced that that is true, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though a part of me believes that I should probably be investing, and I feel guilty that I don't, I choose to be compassionate with myself and accept myself with all my limitations. Even though this looks like a lose-lose, because either I don't invest and lose money because of inflation, or I invest and I probably lose it. I accept my limiting belief around this, and I choose to be open to other options. Stop tapping on the side of the hand, take a deep breath in and out, and become just aware again of that feeling in your body. Where do you feel it? And then tap on the top of the head and repeat after me. Investing is too risky. Eyebrow. Investing is definitely too risky. Side of the eye. Investing scares me. Under your eye. It's so confusing and overwhelming. Under your nose. And I'm terrified to make the wrong choice. Chin crease. I'm terrified to lose money I can't afford to lose. Collarbone. I'm so scared to lose all my money. Under your arm. I've heard all these horror stories. Top of the head. And then tap through the points at your own pace. I've read all the horror stories. I've seen them on TV. Maybe I even experienced it myself. Maybe I lost a lot of money investing. And I'm too scared to do that again. Or maybe I've been sitting on the sidelines all these decades and I'm quietly losing money to inflation. This feeling in my body. It feels so uncomfortable and heavy. Investing seems like a lose-lose. It's almost a guarantee that I'm going to lose money because I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm too overwhelmed to even start learning. Just the thought of learning about investing makes me feel yicky. I don't even want to think about it because I believe that I'm not good at it. And that's why I'm scared. And then I feel guilty because I've heard this whole compound interest thing for decades. And I know I should be investing, but I'm not. Sometimes it feels like survival. And I am frozen in fear, procrastinating, too afraid to take any action. Right now, I'm willing to consider some other possibilities. I acknowledge that I may be afraid. I acknowledge that investing is inherently risky. But I also acknowledge that leaving it in savings isn't going to do me any good. And the truth is, I can learn new things. Just because I think it's overwhelming doesn't mean it's really that complicated. Yeah, it's easy for you to say. Just when I want to start looking at it, There are so many options, and I just freeze. Been there, done that, don't want to go back. But I also like the idea of my money growing without me having to do anything. And that feels really good. What if this isn't so hard? What if there are more than these two options? What if there's more than the options of either not doing anything or losing money? Actually, women have an advantage. Well, many people say that women are risk averse. The truth is, we're risk aware. Big difference. Women actually outperform men when it comes to investing. And that's because they don't jump from one thing to another. Women stay the course. Women don't hunt for the best options and lose money while hunting. And actually, nowadays, there's so much free information how to start very simply. There's simple steps in books that take but a couple of hours to set up. Set it and forget it. And I wouldn't have to look at it for the next 20 years or so. Like, I can do that. I can read a chapter in a book, how to do this, and start with a little amount. What if I just invested $100 a month? Or depending on my situation, maybe it is 50. Or maybe it's more. But what if I just started with a little bit of an amount that I feel comfortable with? And I put it in something that I feel is safe and just start there. I don't have to put all my money in one investment. In fact, that's probably not a good idea. What if I started with a small amount that I feel comfortable with and just do it? What if the gains outweigh the risk? What if I pick something that may be conservative, but it's doing more than my money in my savings account? Just to get started. And once I've gotten started and my nervous system has gotten used to investing, I can dig a little deeper if I choose to. I can find better investments if I choose to. I can invest more if I choose to. Right now, it's just about letting go of this erroneous belief that investing is always too risky, because it is not. Leaving money in savings for decades, that's a risk. Investing and being risk aware is really smart. And as I'm becoming a better and better money manager, I'm willing to consider that I could actually do this. Maybe I need to tap through this a few more times, and that's okay. What if investing is not always risky? What if they are really risky investments? And I definitely won't choose those. And then there are solid investments, and I can choose those. I'm ready and open and willing to acknowledge that I can learn new things. I can learn the very basics of investing, demystify the whole topic, and start being comfortable. And in fact, I'm going to start right now. Okay, take a deep breath in and out, stop tapping, and then feel into your body. And go back to that original belief that investing is too risky or maybe too overwhelming, depending on what yours was. And notice the shift. Yeah. And then I invite you to today, look at some options. Like, where can you find a simple book on investing and literally look at low cost index funds? Something simple. With all the AI, go in and start doing research just for the next 10-15 minutes and start getting your nervous system used to investigating investments. Simple, safe, conservative investments to get started. And then whenever you're ready and you've learned more, you're ready for the next step. But if you have not invested at all, start there and feel your confidence building. And that was our tapping for day 22. Come back tomorrow when we're going to look at the habits of investing. Share this series with a friend. Get out your tracker and make your updates. As always, make sure you're subscribed and turn on your notifications. And I want to thank you for tapping with me, and I'll see you tomorrow.